are live with our Maya Connection podcast. Lexine and Jaylene, take it away.
Okay. Hey Mayans, welcome to the Mind Connection podcast. Today we'll be talking about a teacher's experience during distance learning. My name is Exene and I'm our ASB president and I will be one of your hosts for today. Our other host is Jaylene. Jaylene, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, Minds. My name is Jaylene, and I'm the school's vice president, your second host for today's podcast. And today we will be interviewing Ms. Wood. Ms. Wood, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. So I'm Ms. Wood, and I've been teaching at Montgomery Middle School for a little over 7 years now, and I am the computer science and English teacher for English 7.
Thank you, Ms. Wood.
Okay, so Ms. Wood, the first question is, have you been able to build connections with your students? If so, how?
So yes, at the beginning, I thought it was going to be very challenging, actually, and I was kind of wondering how that was going to be. But as time progressed, it was actually just by being honest and just being relaxed and talking to my students and just kind of finding things that we have in common and creating a relaxed environment as best as possible, even though it's virtual. And yeah, that we've been able to connect that way.
That's very good, Ms. Wood. It's nice. All right, so our next question is, what are some ways you have gotten your students to participate? Like, for example, have you been calling their names, or what have you done?
So in the beginning, it was strictly volunteer on a volunteer basis because I didn't want to make anyone feel like overwhelmed or kind of put on the spot. But as we got to know each other, and I started letting them know that it was okay, especially to make a mistake, because we all make a mistake. And I'm not afraid to be goofy and make a mistake. So they see me making a mistake, and then it makes it okay for them. And so then after that, yeah, I do compliment them sometimes, but most of the time, once somebody speaks, then other people react to them. So
yeah,
that's how it's been working for us.
Yeah, for my classes as well. Like if one person talks, it has that effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, has teaching virtually changed the way you normally teach your students?
Definitely. There's a lot of things we can't do. So especially in the classroom, I'm used to walking around and I can see everyone and the proximity. And over here, I've definitely learned to use more than one device. So sometimes I definitely have 2 devices going on to be able to host and look at the chat and respond and let people in and do all those things, plus the presentation at the same time. And I guess I'm going to out myself. There have been times where I've had 3 screens going on at the same time. So those are the things I've been doing.
That's good. Okay, so now it's what has been the most stressful moment?
Not the same thing, not being able to see what's happening. So when students are having tech trouble, like just even getting into the call, or the things that I can't control. And there's always things we can't control, but when they don't know where to click or when you're explaining something, and then if I say share my screen, but getting them to share the screen, some of them didn't even know how to do that. And just it's different when you can't show the visual. But what's been helpful, I share my screen, so then I even share my iPad, so it helps. But it's just very challenging not having that in-person interaction. I'm a people person, so it's even though we hear each other and we see some of us, it's that's the challenging part. Just kind of feeling like it's me, myself, and I over here, and I'm talking at a screen and not always being able to see what's happening on the other side. That's been very, very challenging.
Yeah, I bet all the teachers were used to the class. I mean, it's hard for us students, so I can just imagine how hard it is for you guys to get used to it.
I know.
Yeah.
That's true. So, has it been hard to stay motivated during distance learning?
No, but mostly because most of the time I'm so busy, I don't have time to feel like I'm not motivated. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's always something to do. And I finish one thing and then three other things pop up. So it's it's
Yeah.
been a challenge in the sense that it's a lot of work, a lot of preparation, and then it's very intense. We have shorter meetings, but then the asynchronous part, answering questions and then meeting one on one, or just the planning and the grading and everything. But the challenge, I haven't felt unmotivated because there's so much need. It's more like I felt a little bit overwhelmed sometimes with everything that needs to be done and not enough time to do it with.
Yeah. So this next question kind of goes along with that. Um, what are some ways you have been able to like reduce your stress, since like everything and you can be overwhelmed? What are some ways?
So actually, what's been very useful is finding a moment, even if it's just like a couple of minutes, to kind of stop and completely disconnect. Because right now, kind of the day rolls into the night and the next day, and just mimicking some of the things as if we were in person. So when we're in person, there's a time we get to school, and there at some point I leave the school, and just kind of trying to do that online as well. So at some point, I'm going to close my laptop. At some point, I'm going to disconnect and actually not have it blend all into one thing. That's been very useful. And also just remembering to be grateful because there's a lot of things happening. A lot of people are in different situations, and there's a lot of people worse off than what we are or what I am. And so just remembering to be grateful for even the problems that we have. So we complain like, oh, something is lagging, but then there's other people that don't even have that technology to just have class even online like we do. So just those couple of things have been very useful.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Has it been hard to stay organized during distance learning?
Hmm. I'm one of those people that is extremely organized most of the time, and I know Miss Jins can attest to this. We like lists, we check things out, but
I
but
remember you used to always have your list in the class.
yeah, so organized in the sense of, I think we go back to the question you asked me before, in the sense of organizing time to take care of myself and kind of rest and disconnect, because if we don't take care of ourselves, that comes to a point where we can't do anything for other people. So maybe organizing that, just remembering to set limits for that. I tend to do too many things.
Yeah. Have you been able to find new ways to like not only improve distance learning for your students, but for yourself as well?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So definitely figuring out some hacks. There's different programs that we can use that can do multiple things in one. So one of the things that has been useful is not having multiple things to sign in on. So when we start using a lot of different things, then you have to create an account for all those other things. So finding the ones where all of you have Gmail, so that you can just sign in with Google, so you don't have to remember another password.
Yeah.
That has been definitely useful. And just finding ways to, if someone's not in class, they can still have access to everything. So, besides making it available on Canvas, Pear Deck has been very useful. And students like it because we can do the drag thing, and then we can just, it's anonymous, so it doesn't put that pressure. But at the same time, we can check to see what other people are doing or what other people are thinking or anything that people have a question on.
Yeah, okay. Has there been any technical difficulties during distance learning? And have you been able to find solutions? Has it been like hard to find solutions, and have you had like many issues like with the internet or with your device?
Do we have 10 days? No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Definitely, yes. Unfortunately, like everything, right? It was the first time we were doing it, and I don't think any of the platforms were ready for this massive worldwide synchronous teaching. So I think I'll narrow it down because we don't have 10 days. So I'll narrow it down to what I think one of the most important things, one of the huge challenges was just not everyone has the same bandwidth. So some of the things that we don't think about when we're using multiple programs, well, if you're opening one tab and then another one and then another one, you need very strong Wi-Fi, and not everyone has that at home. So on the teaching end, when I'm planning, I have to take that into consideration. But also in the beginning, well, you all know our LMS fiasco where things would just disappear or not be there the next day. That was definitely stressful because I would finish everything, have it ready, and I would wake up and it would be gone. So imagine that was very
That's crazy.
And what caused a lot of stress and worry too is just a lot of students didn't have Wi-Fi. We had to make sure they had that, or make sure everyone had devices and all those things. So that we don't think about because we take it for granted. We're used to having our one-to-one at school, but that was a huge thing. And so it takes a while because there's a lot of stuff that people don't see on the back end. So those two things definitely stand out.
Of course, it really gets you thinking, like, how much our lives changed, like how different it is now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So now to end off on a good note, what's something good that has come out of distance learning?
Oh, what immediately one of the things that stands out is just how good people step up, and especially my students, how sweet they are and understanding. And one of the things that would just like make me smile and happy all the time is if someone has a question and people start answering them, and so they'll say, oh, let me share my screen, and someone shares their screen and shows them. Or if someone has a question in the chat, sometimes I'm looking and I'm thinking about the response, and then two people already helped the person out, or they responded to them. Or so just seeing how even in the midst of this, you, the students, step up and are so kind to each other and showing still that care for each other, or even staying in touch with each other outside of the meeting. I was going to say the class, the meeting. So that has just kept me going too, because in the moments when things get tough, and then it's almost like you guys know, or my students know, and they say the right thing, or they say the things that just keep me motivated and make me happy on the inside. And just that has been one of the highlights of distance teaching.
That's awesome, because like in my classes, like I can't say that for all of them. So, good job to you, Ms. Wood, because not a lot of awesome job,
I
Ms. Wood.
know.
Thank you, Elise. And I miss you,
So thank you.
I miss you too, Ms. Wood. It was so fun in that class.
So thank you for listening to our podcast, Mayans.
And a big thank you to Ms. Wood for taking time out of her day to speak with us.
Anytime.
Yes, thank you very much. And we hope you have a good rest of your day, Mayans.
In La Caisse.
Okay.
Bye.